Good day, good day. Welcome to Northworthy Sagas and Stories. I'm Tyrkir, the son of Thorkel, your host. Now, there are many sagas that have been recorded by the Icelanders. Many tales of one kind or another. But there's one which tells of the power of fate. Wyrd, to use the Norse word, Wyrd in Old English. And Wyrd, or fate, well, it's been woven long in advance by the Norns. They weave the fabric of fate that determines the destinies of gods and men on a great loom up there in the land of the gods. And the warp and weft of the strands woven upon it, well, they determine the course of each and every life in the worlds. No man may escape his fate, but it's up to him how he chooses to face it. And this is a story that will make that clear. A story that begins with a farmer who lived near the coast. This farmer, well, he earned a good living, and he'd recently bought a fishing boat. And, well, he'd used it for a while to provide some extra income from fishing. Although, he had pause for thought when he met someone who it said had the gift of second sight. A woman whose name was Ragnhild. Ragnhild, she was descended from a long line of seeresses, and she told the farmer that the sea would be his death. And he looked into her eyes as she said these words, and he knew deep in his soul that what she said was true. And therefore, he never, from that moment, set sail himself in that boat ever again. In fact, he had as little to do with the sea as he possibly could. He spent most of his days after that at home, indoors. Yeah, he tried to shut the sea out. He didn't want to catch the merest glimpse of the sun on the waves, or to sniff the fresh, salty air. And, well, as you can imagine, he became a recluse. His habits became very odd indeed. However, because the boat lay idle, sooner or later, some of his kinsmen put it to good use. And it was many, many years later, when the farmer, by this time, well, he was starting to become an old man, when his kinfolk were out at sea fishing and a great storm had blown up, waves coming over the prow and the stern, and by the time they got back to dry land, well, they were soaked to the skin, but just grateful to be alive at all. They made their way to the farm. They were brought inside, and their cloaks, dripping wet, well, they took those off naturally. They were hung up close by the fire. And, well, the fishermen, they went off to get some food and to sleep. But the farmer, well, he stayed by himself. He was in a world of his own by now, pacing up and down, muttering and murmuring under his breath, complaining about the sea, about how it was out to get him. But no one paid the slightest attention to him. They all had better things to do and left him well alone. And so it came as a great shock to the farmer's kinsman a few hours later when they returned, for they found him face down in a puddle formed from all the water. There's a drip from those soaking cloaks. Only 1 inch of his face was submerged in the liquid, but it seems to have been quite enough to drown him in 1 inch of sea water. And so, it just goes to show that no man can outrun his own fate or try to trick his way out of it. And it's up to all of us to meet it with courage and resolve. And on that note, we will leave you all. Thank you all for listening. And don't forget to click on the notification bell. Thank you.
Thank you.